who likes team sports? So in a football game or hockey or baseball or ultimate frisbee, whatever it might be, each player has a part to play on the team, right? They have to do their part in order for the team to come together to win their game. And the same is true on God's team. God wants all of us to be a part of his team, and he gives us all a part to play. Now, last week we read that Moses was trying to do too much by himself, but a man he respected named Jethro helped him figure out a way to do the work that he needed to do with a team. Now, the story we're looking at today is actually just beforehand. Moses was leading the Israelites and they were attacked by a group called the Amalekites. I'll get that eventually. The Amalekites. Moses chose Joshua to lead the Israelite army into battle. He told Joshua to choose some men and take them to fight the Amalekites. Moses planned to stand on top of the hill holding the special walking stick, a staff that God had given him. Now, even though Moses was the leader of the Israelites, he knew that he was not the best person to lead the army into battle, and that's why he asked Joshua to play his part. So Joshua chose his men and they went to fight the Amalekites. Meanwhile, Moses went to the top of the hill to watch the battle, just as he said he would. 2 other Israelite men, Aaron and Hur, also went to the top of the hill. Now, as long as Moses held up his hands in the battle, then the Israelites would be winning. But as soon as his hands lowered down, the Amalekites started to win. This seems like a pretty simple way to win a battle, doesn't it? But Moses' hands and arms began to get really tired. When his hands started getting tired, Aaron and Hur realized that they could help. First, they got a stone and put it underneath Moses so he could sit down. And as Moses sat down on the stone, Aaron and Hur held up his hands. Aaron was on one side and Hur was on the other. Can you imagine trying to hold up your hands all day long? They would get so tired. And Moses got tired too. It's a good thing Aaron and Hur were with him on the hill doing their part to help him. Because Aaron and Hur were each holding up an arm, Moses' hands remained steady until the sun set. With Moses' hands in the air, Joshua and his army won the battle and celebrated with each other. Moses, Aaron, Hur, and Joshua really knew the meaning of every player on a team doing their part. I think we should watch the play-by-play from the battle to see just what went down.
It looks like it's going to be Israelites on defense and Amalekites on the offensive attack. Here comes the star player for Team Israelites, Moses. In a strategic move, Moses is telling his teammate Joshua to choose players who can help battle this Amalekite attack. And now Moses is going to position himself so he can see every play. Smart move. Moses lets Joshua know he'll be at the top of the hill holding the special stick God has given him. Here we see Joshua with his added players ready to fight on the field, and as the whistle blows, they're off. Meanwhile, team players Moses, Aaron and Hur watch from up on the sidelines. You'd think that because Moses wasn't in the battle, he was out of the game, but that is not the case. Notice if his hands go down, the Amalekites start winning, but as long as Moses keeps his hands up, Team Israelites are in the lead. It's a great team effort as each one of those players help hold up Moses' hands. The battle on the field has gone into overtime. We can tell these players are getting tired, but even in the last few minutes of overtime, Joshua and his team continue to do their part on the field as Aaron and Hur do their part to keep Moses' hands in the winning position. And here's the play. It's the end of overtime. Yes, the Israelites win.
The Israelites all had a part to play. If Joshua had been too scared to lead the army, it would have cost them the battle. And if Aaron and Hur thought they were too cool to just hold up Moses' hands all day, they wouldn't have won either. Moses, Aaron, Hur, Joshua, the soldiers, they were all a team and they all had an important part to play to win the battle. Do you know that God has a part for each of us to play on his team too? He does. God wants us all on his team and he has a part that's just for you. How do you think God might want you to play your part this week? Is it talking to him more in prayer and listening for what he's telling you he wants you to do? Is it serving people in your bubble and being Jesus' hands and feet, loving them as God would love them? Is it using gifts and skills that you have to encourage someone else by phoning them up or by making something? Whatever it is, we want you to remember this week that on God's team, players do their part.